what time it is? It's time for KP's Video News. KP's Video News, y'all.
KP's Video News, y'all. I got some stories here today, man. I got some stories here today that you have to, really pay attention, because there's some real tragic stuff going on, man. There's some real silly stuff going on, and I can only, throw that out there, man. It's some real crazy mess going on here today. So we got another tragedy occurred in Winthrop, Massachusetts on Saturday, when a man and woman, both black, were fatally shot by a white man who stole a plumber's truck and crashed it into a house. Officials are now investigating the shooting as a hate crime after discovering white nationalist rhetoric allegedly written by the assailant. According to the report, the suspected shooter has been identified as 28-year-old Nathan Allen. Suffolk County District Attorney Rollins said in a press conference on Sunday that investigators had discovered Allen had written anti-Semitic and racist statements against black individuals. While Rollins didn't disclose where they found the writings, she said in a statement that they found swastikas drawn by Allen and statements about how white people are apex predators. Allen allegedly stole a plumber's truck on Saturday, crashed into a car with two passengers before crashing the truck into an empty home. The two victims in the car accident were taken to a local hospital from non-life-threatening injuries. After the crash, Allen was fleeing on foot, where he fatally shot 58-year-old David Green, a retired Massachusetts state police officer, and 60-year-old Ramona Cooper, an Air Force veteran. Allen shot Green 7 times and Cooper 3 times. Allen was killed on the scene by Winthrop police shortly after crashing the car into the house. And Winthrop Police Department statement said an officer was hospitalized but not seriously injured as a result of the incident. He walked by several people that were black, that were not black, and they are still alive. They were not harmed, Rollins said during the conference. They are alive, and these two visible people of color are not. He stated that investigators are working to determine the shooting and other chaos Allen caused leading up to it. They fought for us to be safe, to have opinions that we have, and they were executed, Rollins said during the conference. These families deserve answers, and we'll find out what happened here. So it's this guy, the guy he ended up, man, this retired cop and a retired Army veteran, man, just both dead because you had some idiot with a gun, and he's out there thinking, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and kill these two black people that are just standing there minding their own business, man. He just ran into them, and it's like he just saw them while he was in the process of fleeing. So here we go. It's crazy. Some crazy stuff going on, I'm telling you, man. You got a white man jailed for murder, the murder of a black actor, and a white man who was shot dead, who shot dead a black actor in Portugal last year, has been sentenced to more than 2 decades in prison. They should have gave him life. Bruno Candy, 39 years old, was shot several times by Evaristo Moreno, 77 years old, after being threatened days earlier. Moreno was convicted of racially motivated murder and handed 22 years and 9 months behind bars. The killing sparked anti-racism demonstrations and demand for justice for Mr. Kande, which was of Guinean origin. He was the father of 3, the member of the Caviente Theater Group, and Mariano, who a retired nursing assistant, served in the military during the colonial war against African independence in the former Portuguese colony of Angola. Days before the shooting, the court heard that he racially abused Mr. Kande while the actor walked his dog, telling him, among other things, to go back to your country. Arnold returned to the same street. Returned to the same street where he saw that particular person, and decided that he was gonna try to harass this person. Went back to the same block where the guy was walking his dog, and let's see here. Complaints of racial discrimination in Portugal rose 50% to 655 different incidents last year. However, many incidents are not reported, and the real figure is thought to be way higher. Portugal's Secretary of State of Equality, Rosa Monteiro, said in March in 2019, 8 Portuguese police officers were found guilty of kidnapping and beating up 6 black youths in a neighborhood 4 years earlier, in that same neighborhood. So, this particular guy was nuts, man. He was fucking crazy, and he was just literally crazy. It makes no sense, man, for people to go through all this madness. And the stories just keep on coming. The stories just keep on coming, y'all. I'm not, got a Chicago cop who shot a man in a chase that got stripped of his police powers, and the Chicago Police Department police officer who fatally shot a man in the back during a foot pursuit in March has been stripped of his police powers, the department confirmed yesterday. And Chicago Police Department spokesman Tom Ahern said Officer Evan Solano has been stripped of his powers pending an investigation into the March 31st shooting of Anthony Alvarez. Superintendent David Bowen did not explain why he waited until Monday to announce the move that was recommended by the Civilian Office of Police Accountability at least 2 months ago. Ahern said Brown told reporters that he made the decision after COPA provided him with more information. In an email, John Cantazara, president of Chicago Police Officers Unit, declined to comment. Solano, who fatally shot the 22-year-old Alvarez 2 days after another Chicago officer shot and killed 13-year-old Adam Toledo during another foot pursuit. Video footage of the pursuit shows the teen was carrying a handgun that he either dropped or tossed aside less than a second before he was shot in the chest. Video footage from Solano's body camera shows a foot pursuit in which the officer can be heard shouting, drop the gun," before he opened fire. Alvarez appeared to drop the gun, and he falls to the ground. The shooting of the teen and Alvarez, both Hispanic, put the department under intense scrutiny and had raised further questions about a force that has long been dogged by a reputation for brutality and racism. While COPA did not recommend that the officer who shot Toledo and Eric Stillman be relieved of his police powers, it did recommend that Solano be stripped of his. Shortly after the teenager was killed, Mayor Lori Lightfoot said she had ordered the department to draft an interim foot pursuit policy. Last month, the department announced a policy that, among other things, prohibits foot pursuits of minor traffic violations and bars officers from separating from partners if they can't see the person they're chasing or if the officer or person is injured. Though the police department has not said that the officers were chasing Alvarez in the first place, Lightfoot suggested that it was related to a minor traffic offense, saying, "We can't live in a world where a minor traffic offense results in someone being shot and killed." And the key difference between the two shootings is that Stillman was chasing the teen after the gunshots were fired nearby, allegedly by a man who authorities say was with Adam the night he died. And so it's a lot of crazy stuff going on, folks. So I'm trying to tell you, man. You got to pay attention. You got to listen, stop, look, listen to your heart, hear what it said. Progressive Democrat and Democratic Representative Jamal Bowman screams, "F that, at a rally against Biden's infrastructure deal outside the White House. Jamal Bowman gave an impassioned speech at a rally against Biden's bipartisan infrastructure plan, said we got to go big and take it to another level, and this is our moment, Bowman said. The rally urged Biden to adopt a bolder proposal to stop negotiating with the GOP. Democratic Representative Bowman of New York gave an impassioned remarks outside the White House on Monday. He joined a rally urging President Biden to pursue a bolder infrastructure plan that's more in line with progressive goals and to do more to address climate change. They occupy our streets, they mass incarcerate us, but they leave us food insecure in transportation deserts, and our buildings and schools are falling apart. F that, Bowman said at the event, speaking about the history of discrimination against black people and policies that have marginalized minorities, prompting cheers from the crowd. We've got to go big and take it to another level, and this is our moment. And the rally was organized by the Sunrise Movement, a progressive climate change advocacy group. On its website, the Sunrise Movement said the rally was designed to send a message to Biden to stop negotiating our futures with the GOP and deliver a fully funded civilian corps. And so, all these things, said the White House last week reached a tentative bipartisan deal for a $1 trillion infrastructure plan, and progressive critics say the bipartisan proposal has effectively been stripped of initiatives to address climate change, though White House Press Secretary Psaki on Monday pushed back on this. Psaki told reporters, "I would dispute the notion that it doesn't do anything for climate." After the deal was reached, Biden threatened to veto a proposal if it did not land on his desk in tandem with a Democratic-only filibuster-proof spending package to address child care, education, and caregiving and clean energy. Republicans subsequently accused him of breaking his pledge to support the proposal. Biden went to damage control mode over the weekend and walked back on his veto threat, offering unconditional support to the bipartisan proposal while emphasizing that he still supported the separate package. "I gave my word to support the infrastructure plan, and that's what I intend to do," Biden stated. And both proposals stand on tenuous ground, with Senate Minority Leader McConnell pushing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Chuck Schumer to echo Biden's pledge to support the bipartisan plan no matter what. So, we got all this stuff going on, man, and these people are just like playing games. They're playing a ton of games with our lives, and here we are. We just stuck in the middle. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Ladies out there, if you're dealing with a guy and he doesn't wear a watch, and he's talking about, "Oh, well, I don't have to wear a watch. I got a clock on my phone." Don't fool with him. He's an idiot. You don't have a watch on his wrist, you don't even know what fucking time it is. Don't fool with him. Don't waste your time. Go find somebody that knows what time it is.
KP Video News, y'all.
KP Video News, y'all.
KP Video News, y'all. Right.
You know what time it is.
KP Video News, y'all.
It's time for what?
It's time for what?
KP Video News, y'all.